What's poppin', y'all? It looks like Playboi Carti may have pulled the rug from underneath people again. Because Adin Ross, the person that was supposed to have him on his stream the last time, that was nearing, I think, 500,000 live viewers. We don't know how many of that was bots, considering Kick has been known to have people bot the viewership. We don't know if Kick is doing that. Regardless, it would benefit them if it had crazy numbers, so they do have incentive to do that. With that being said, what ended up happening was Cardi just doing a bunch of nothing. It was a promotional campaign. He pretty much got paid to listen to his own music for 15 minutes. And then he got out of there and he got a lot of hate. Playboi Carti got a lot of hate for it. And now, what do we have? Adin Ross said there was going to be a part 2. I'll play you guys the clip and then we'll get into a little bit.
I don't think Cardi 2 is happening anymore. I have a theory that Cardi was just texting me to kind of just like keep me like in a position where like I'm not going to be on his bad side, like where I'm on the internet talking crazy, if that makes sense. To get like the heat off his name type shit. Literally, Lacey, yeah. Think I got played, but hey bro, it is what it is. Because I was texting his phone, he stopped answering me out of nowhere.
As you just heard, he's saying he doesn't really believe it's going to happen. He was urging his community and fans that this thing was coming, a part 2 was coming with some real stuff. And I was always skeptical. I was like, I don't think that's going to happen. And then what he just said makes sense, but I don't get why Adin Ross doesn't understand how most rappers view him, which it doesn't make sense to me because I don't think Adin Ross is a dumb guy. I don't even think he's remotely dumb. I think he knows what he's doing. One of the instances of him knowing that he's doing is there was this whole thing where I might do a whole nother video about it, but basically he controls a lot of the media that is published about him. And when you control a lot of the media that is published about you, you can paint a certain narrative about yourself or make a narrative that you want silence another narrative that's going on that may be harming you. So someone that's has enough foresight to think like that and invest money into something like that is not someone that I would also expect to get played like. And it makes sense. Adin's fans were going crazy. Cardi's fans were going crazy in a negative way towards Cardi. So what's the best way to quell that? Well, Playboi Carti's got to be like, okay, I'll give these guys what they want. And he'll talk to Adin and Adin will send the message. Because Cardi didn't say anything. He didn't say, yo, sorry guys, I didn't show up. Oh, we're going to do another one. None of that. He just stayed quiet. Also, I think people give Cardi too much credit about like knowing what he's doing. Cardi, for a large part of his early career, all the moves were made by him, were made for him by Ian Connor, who was, and this is where like people kind of want to imitate something without knowing the origins. So the foundation is the most important thing. So the foundation was that Cardi wasn't this mysterious, weird character that he is now back then. And the only reason he was even able to pull back then is because he pretty much had a spokesperson, someone that was really connected, that was making all the plays for him. And he was able to learn from that individual. And then he was able to carry it on afterwards. On top of that, he has a good team around him. So Cardi isn't like some mastermind that's controlling his entire career. Although I do think like he knows what'll get attention. Like if you're already popping, getting more popping is not that hard. You just kind of do something a little bit off the wall, like YoungBoy, right? People were like, was it brilliant that YoungBoy put some paint on his face? No, YoungBoy was like the most lit young rapper. Everybody was talking about him. So if he put some paint on himself, everyone's going to talk about him more. And then people that don't even really talk about him are going to talk about the fans that are always talking about him because he just put some face paint on. It's really not that complicated. But Adin's relationship with rappers, I think it's getting, I wouldn't say worse, but they're definitely acknowledging that, oh, this guy has a lot more money than us, than we thought. And now they're probably all going to start charging him because rappers talk. So if a rapper's like, yo, I got paid $250K to be on Adin's stream, how much did you get paid? And they're looking at it like, yo, I was just on his stream for free, I think they'd be less inclined. Plus, it doesn't really do that much for their music, so they're looking to get a bag. And I do think Adin Ross is less, I would say he's more inclined now to pay them because he has ownership in this platform. He has ownership in the Kick platform. The platform gets bigger. The platform's going to fund it. So he's just looking at it like, hey, I'm using rappers to build my platform, to get new user signups, to get more application downloads, which makes our application look more valuable because Kick right now is not making money. Kick is just losing money, which I see some people, actually, I don't really see this conversation happening often, so I won't even say some people are hating on it. But a lot of the thought that may come to mind is, hey, how is this thing ever going to make money? Well, Twitch doesn't even really make money. Twitch Twitch is just losing money. It costs a ton to keep servers up. This is still a funnel to gambling, of course. That's like the main thing. But they're paying out all this money. They don't have advertisers like Twitch does. I do think that's something that's going to change in the future. They're going to get advertisers and they're going to clean house. And the whole like, oh, this is the ironic thing where they're like, yo, people could say whatever they want on Kick. No, they can't. They absolutely cannot. And Adin Ross even put out a clip saying, hey, you know, we're just building up the platform right now. You know, in a couple of years, things will be different. Which means that all the people that think they're going to wild out on Kick, get viewers now, and it's going to stay like that. Nah, the wild stuff, this has always been the cycle of platforms, and people need to be cognizant of what's happening in the past to see how things will likely happen again. Like every platform, stuff is crazy in the beginning. Like YouTube, people were posting music, people were posting movies, people were posting anime, people were posting everything. And it built up. Because keep in mind, when you're smaller, it's less likely for you to get sued. Granted, this is already a big company backing it. So like, for example, remember when Adin Ross streamed the Super Bowl? That was high risk, but it was high reward. He got a ton of viewers on it. He got a ton of signups, got a ton of people making accounts, which those things make the company look valuable. And the company claimed that they got offered $1 billion for a buyout, which they declined. I don't know if that's true, but I don't think like, you know, somebody up at the company is just going to straight up lie about a number like that. Although it is possible, but I'm not calling the person a liar. So when you have people posting whatever, a bunch of new users come to the site because they're like, yo, this is where we're getting where we can't get on other platforms. Because what happened to YouTube is kind of everything was allowed to fly up until the whole PewDiePie thing. And, you know, these journalists always mess it up for everybody. These journalists write an article about, oh, PewDiePie is promoting whatever. We're not going to get into that. And then these journalists use the media to scare the advertisers into pulling out, and then advertisers pull out. YouTube is like, whoa, we can't let stuff fly anymore. Sorry, guys. We got to pack it up. So they pack out a lot of people, get them out of here, demonetize them, ban them, whatever the case may be, clean up the content. Advertisers come back, and then now that quote unquote golden age is over. That's the same thing that's happening with Kick right now. They're just using those people to build up the platform. They're going to clean it up later. And yeah, you're going to be relegated to another platform, which is why, as much as people want to hate Rumble, like the foundation of it is like free speech. So it's a little bit different, whereas Kick, what's the foundation? Oh, Gamble and Adin Ross? That's kind of really what it's built on. Or also, actually, no, I will give credit. The foundation for Kick is, hey, you get 95% cut of your subscription versus on Twitch where you're getting 50%. So that's the incentive. Now, like I've said before, the problem with that is Twitch has Twitch Prime, so people are largely subbing, or half of people's subscriptions are free. But they were saying that Twitch or Amazon or Twitch was going to remove Twitch Prime, which if that happens, that's a big hit, because the problem is you're not really getting subs on Kick. And that's why they have kind of like this salaried program, which is also another incentive. So Kick has incentives for streamers, but I would say their foundation, if I were to give them, to be fair, it's gambling and, hey, you get 95% cut and you get paid more out of what people are sending you versus on Twitch. It has nothing to do with like free speech and doing whatever you want, because the things that people complained about on Twitch are on there too. They've got, you know, chicks shaking their behinds, OF, funnels, all that other type of stuff. But yeah, I kind of deviated into a different topic outside of the Playboi Carti thing, but I think these things are important. You should be aware of what you're watching, what you're paying attention to, and why you being a viewer of something is valuable to the people and the company that you're a viewer of. And you can kind of see like where your value is at. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Do you think Playboi Carti will ever do a stream with anybody? I really don't think so. There's too much that can go wrong. Carti needs to curate. He can get caught up in anything. And just a tiny 5-second clip of, let's say, a TTS donation, catching Cardi or something like that, and it can really shatter this image that people have of him, which just goes to show you the real authentic artists are people that, not artists, like personas, right, can come out there and you can see them. Like, for example, Tory Lanez, Soulja Boy, these guys that were on Adin streams for extended periods of time, even DDG, I'll give them credit. These guys, you're like, okay, these guys they're cool. They're what they portray in their music and who they are as a person. You've seen them hours long. There's nothing faking. Obviously, you know, Soulja Boy plays things up, but you can kind of get a gauge of this isn't a character by these people, because they would break character after that long being in front of the camera. So yeah, let me know what y'all think. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.